Well, I got terrible news for you. The Kia Rio, after over 22 years of availability here in the United States, is getting canceled. And this is following the news of the Mitsubishi Mirage last week getting canceled. What is going on to the affordable cars out there? Well, they're disappearing. And we're not even going to stop there. On the used end, cars less than $20,000 are vanishing as well. Today, we're going to go into the best buys on the new market and possibly the used market as well. Let's get into it. Rest in peace, Kia Rio. It will not be coming back for the 2024 model year. It first came into the American market as early as 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. And it wasn't that long ago that the Accent counterpart from Hyundai was canned. If we look at the Kia Rio yearly sales, well, they don't sell a whole lot, which is interesting because you would think cheaper cars would sell more. But the thing is, manufacturers don't like making cheap cars because their profit margins are very, very low on low ticket item cars. And that's why the prices of cars have ballooned over the past few years, because prices for materials and development for cars has gone up, and therefore the prices have as well. And automakers know that they can make a lot more money selling higher profit, higher ticket item vehicles. So yeah, anyways, the writing has been out on the wall for the Rio ever since the Accent was killed, and they only sold about 27,000 units last year. But if we look at, it's just been kind of limping along with no sort of cohesion and predictability from one year to the next for Kia Rio sales. You can say it topped out in 2013, the strongest year of the Rio, but check this out. We're going over to USA Today. There's only one new car under $20,000. That's meaning average transaction prices, and that is a Mitsubishi Mirage. But here are the 5 cars with the lowest prices in the United States. So what I actually did is I made a spreadsheet. Smash the like button for the spreadsheet and smash the like button for cheap cars. But man, it's the writing's on the wall for a lot of these guys. So Mitsubishi Mirage coming in at an average transaction price in the United States, a little over $19,000. It's the only one in the market coming in under $20,000 as a new car. My lowest local price for the Mirage is $14,895, and it is not worth that much money in my opinion. I wouldn't pay more than $10,000 for this vehicle. So maybe but the thing is, the used ones aren't really selling at that much lower of a price than the new ones. And the reason why I wouldn't spend money on it, at least this sort of money, is because it only has 76 horsepower. A lot of its competitors have 50 more horsepower and get the same sort of fuel economy. Mitsubishi Mirage, unless you can get some sort of out of this world deal, even under $14,000, $15,000, I just don't think it's a good buy. I'm not saying it's not a good car. I'm just saying it's not a good buy. Kia Rio, average transaction price, rest in peace, $20,000. The price for the lowest one in my area is about $17,500. This is a much better buy than the Mirage because it has way more horsepower, 120 horsepower, gets the same, if not better, fuel economy. And let's move on to the next one, Nissan Versa. Check this out. There's actually a manual Versa. There's only one in my area, but it's also the cheapest one. So hell yeah, I get the 5-speed manual on the Versa while it's still available. I can't believe they still make it, to be honest. $16,990 is that vehicle. From the 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, we get 122 horsepower. So I'd be taking the Versa over the Kia Rio. Get that 5-speed manual to just have some sort of life-giving experience in these entry-level cars. Okay, Hyundai Venue is also on this list as one of the lowest transacting cars in the United States, but it is the highest out of these 5 that USA Today said are the lowest in price, coming in at nearly $22,000. It has a paltry 121 horsepower. It's the same setup as the Kia Rio, right? Front-wheel drive, 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. The Venue is unique in this lineup because it is more of a crossover looking hatchback thing. I know the Mirage, not the Ford, the G4, the standard Mirage is a hatchback as well, but the Venue is going to be much bigger, much more roomy, wider vehicle as well. So the Venue is not a bad buy. It's just going to come in at a much more expensive price. The Nissan Sentra here is the pick out of these 5 because it gives you about 150 horsepower. This thing is a hot rod compared to these other Ford vehicles on the top 5 cheapest cars. Average transaction price, though, is nearly $24,000 because the Sentra has some higher level trim levels that have a ton of equipment on them. But you can get an entry-level one in my area. There's the Venue at 21,000. It's actually coming down in price in my area, but going to the Nissan Sentra, $19,841 here. And this would be a better buy over the rest of these, in my opinion, because you're getting more power. However, I think the Kia Rio and the Versa and the Venue are all decent buys in this segment, especially the Versa. This 5-speed manual seems to be the pick for just some sort of fun, even though it doesn't have as much power as the Sentra. It's great. Anyways, some honorable mentions here is a Toyota Corolla. I don't know what the average transaction prices are in America, but in my local area, check out this Corolla right here. It's an LE. It's a base model, $21,695. Remember, for the 2023 model year, they got rid of the 1.8 liter and they made standard the 2 liter 4-cylinder. So that gets us a class topping on this list anyways, 169 horsepower, and also a class topping 151 pound-feet of torque, and a class competitive 35 miles per gallon. The Venue is probably, let's just put the Venue at like 34 with its blocky shape. I don't know how good a fuel economy, but it's competitive. All of them are around the mid-30s. Anyways, Toyota Corolla here is going to be one of the more pricey cars on this list, but it gives you the most power, and it's a Toyota. Their reliability is probably better than most of the other vehicles, if not all of them on the list. Hyundai Elantra also makes an honorable mention because it has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. There's one transacting in my area. Let's see here. Not the Corolla Hybrid. I was looking at the Hybrid, but it's just so expensive compared to these other models. $24,000 compared to $20,000. It would take a long time to make up that gas fuel economy difference, but it is still a good buy. It's just not maybe the cheapest, most bargain basement buy according to these other against these other cars anyways. $20,928 for this Elantra in my area. One of the best horsepowers out there and really good fuel economy. So the Elantra and the Corolla definitely are within stone's throw of this competition. Let me know which of these vehicles you'd be interested if you're buying new and you got to have a new car. You want to have that warranty. You want to have the best financing deals if there are any nowadays with ridiculous interest rates. But let me know which one you would be going for. I mean, the Versa manual looks incredible, so you can sidestep that Jadco CVT, and it's a really low price, and it has a good amount, a competitive amount of performance. So I would be snapping up this guy or paying a little bit more to get the more powerful Sentra, Corolla, or Elantra. All right, let's get into these other cheap used cars, because in 2019, nearly half of used cars were less than $20,000. Today, there's hardly any. Only 12% of used cars are less than $20,000. So let's look at the price increases for the best-selling used cars from 2019 to 2023, just 4 years. The Ram 1500 has seen an increase of 57% in used cars prices. The Toyota Corolla, so you're better off just buying a new Corolla. Like the one I showed, you can get a good deal on them. Same thing with the Camry. Like, you're better off buying a new Camry than a used Camry more times than not. Same thing with the Civic. A lot of these vehicles on this list, you're better off buying a new one. I know the Accord's in here because the old Accord looks better, and you can get it with the 2-liter turbo instead of the 1.5-liter turbo. Now, IC Cars also says the best used small cars under $20,000 starts with the Yaris, the Civic, and the Fit. Best used small cars under $15,000 is the Civic and the Fit as well. Let's look at $10,000 best used cars for under $10,000. The Versa, the Sonic. I'd be taking the Versa over the Sonic. The Sonic is absolutely tiny. So are you sad about the Rio getting discontinued? Do you have any sentiment with the Rio? Do you have any memories that were made with the Kia Rio? And as we go back to the spreadsheet with these two gone, let's just erase them from history. Let me know which model you'll be looking forward to going in the future. Looks like Nissan might be holding it down. The Venue's holding it down. The Corolla and the Elantra as well. So there's plenty of good cars. And just kind of weeding out the weakest options here with the Mirage and the Rio. I'm going to share this with you guys real quick. I saw a Scion IQ on the side of the road. I'm like, I will pick this up so my parents have a cheap, fuel-efficient, reliable car to drive around town. Check this out. 2012 with 150,000 miles. Nothing wrong. 4-cylinder, $6,300 cash. I was like, I drove by, I'm like, if it's about $3,000, $3,500 low mileage, I might be into it, but it's high mileage, $6,300. The car market right now still sucks on the top end, the mid-range end, really, if you can buy a car at MSRP, that's probably the best deal because used car prices are out of control. Now, this guy put F Sport logos and did a two-tone paint job all over this Scion IQ. I think it's cute, but when you look closer, it's not a good paint job. The F Sport logos, I just can't take it seriously. Well, check out my Propeller video review coming soon. But this front bumper, I didn't take a picture of the front, was also kind of like warped and ugly. I do have a picture of the interior. Yeah, I mean, it's just cute on the inside. And, are there actually seats in the back of this thing? That's how little I know about the IQ because I've never actually been in one. But I really want one. I'd love to have one, but I'm not paying $6,300 on a rough, high mileage. Who knows? This thing's probably been raced with the F Sport logos. There's F Sport logos on the back as well that I don't know if I took pictures of. Yeah, here you go. There's that sick F Sport logo in the back. So anyways, just want to share my recent experience with expensive, small, used cars on the market. And I'm going to end it there. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more fun videos like this. If you made this far, haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great day and peace.